G'day, I'm actually here in my house filming this. It is a miserable, cold, wet day. Without further ado, let's get into some of these questions. Kyle Stark asks, on average, how many total games, tournaments, practice, etc., a week, a year, does Belmo bowl? Oh, I don't think I've ever counted it like that. On tour, I think I average for the last, 5 years or something like that, in between 350 and 400 games, just on tour. So that's January through to May. That doesn't include the practice sessions before each tournament. That doesn't include other practice sessions that aren't within that tour season schedule, like if I come home or if there's a few days off and I want to work on something. And then after the tour season, I'm probably really practicing on something once a week. And I mean really focusing on a very specific skill once a week. And then a couple of other times in the week, I'm just turning up and bowling, keeping the game feeling a little fluid and a little loose and making sure it all feels pretty good. There will be a point in time directly after the PBA tour where I won't pick up a bowling ball for a really long time. Like it might be a couple of months, 2.5 months. I'm just here at home, being daddy, looking after the kids, doing all those family things. And so I really take some time off. But when I get back into it, it's every other day, 4 times a week, probably 3 times a week, where I'm just rolling the ball. And that session can last anywhere from half an hour to 2 hours, just depending on how I'm feeling. If I feel good, I'll leave early. If I don't feel good, I'll just keep going, trying to work on some of those fundamentals and see what's going on. But if I'm working on a very specific skill, a part of the lane I'm trying to play, or a specific new change to a release, again, it can be anywhere from an hour to 2 hours. Just trying to really focus on making sure when I leave, I felt like I accomplished something. But every single session will end in 15, 20 minutes of just shooting spares. I hate it. It's so boring. Sometimes if I miss a few early, I'll stay for an hour just shooting spares, because as boring and as much as I hate doing it, it's such an important part of our game. And the amount of missed spares I've had in my career that have cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars is evidence and motivation enough that I need to keep working at it. Better get this fire cranking again. Let's get back into the questions. Casey Maxted asks, how's the Call of Duty battle going? So here's a little context to that. Recently, my 12-year-old son, who enjoys playing his PlayStation, got Call of Duty. And I said, I like to play video games. I mean, I grew up playing a lot of Nintendo, PlayStation 1. I know I'm old, I know. But I still enjoy playing video games. So I said to him, hey dude, let me have a go of Call of Duty. And he gives me the remote, and obviously, I'm playing a kind of like a battle royale, and I land, I walk around. I've never played it before. I don't know the buttons, so I'm figuring everything out. Obviously I get destroyed in the first 30 seconds. And my son looks at me and he goes, oh, Dad, you're such a noob. And the fact that there was no compassion for me, that it was my first time, I didn't know what all the buttons did. I just thought, you little rascal, I am going to learn how to play Call of Duty behind your back, and then I'm going to 1v1 you, and I'm going to absolutely destroy you. Now, what he doesn't know is that is my plan. What he doesn't know is that I have a few friends that are professional Call of Duty players. One in particular, Ray Lucier, whom I've contacted, and we intend to get together, and he's going to give me a crash course in Call of Duty. So I'm extremely excited. Now, that has been delayed a little bit. We just went on holiday, and we've just come home. We have a few sick children in the household, so it hasn't been a day where I can kind of just sneak off into the room, call Ray, organize my little 1v1 crash course. But it is coming. And the joy that I'm feeling about just the possibility of this happening, I can't express to you. The look on his face, my kid's face, when I just crush him, it will be priceless and worth it. So, it's his fault. Called me a noob, trash talked me. No compassion, no empathy. No, not even like, hey dad, this button does this. Nothing. Just called me a noob, wanted the remote back, the controller back. Oh yeah, he's gonna regret that one. Tom Patterson asks, this is a very interesting question. He says, a flashback. I'm curious, could the simplicity of Earl Anthony's approach and delivery work successfully in today's world? I feel like I'm going to get a little heat for this answer from the older generation. I think Earl would have been perfectly fine today. I really think he was just brilliant. He was just a brilliant bowler. And no matter what generation you put a brilliant bowler, they're going to do well. However, the game back then was simpler. You didn't need to do as much as you need to do today. With the advancements of technology in bowling balls, the advancements in oil patterns and shapes of oil patterns that we can create now, we are forcing the players to be way more versatile. I've gone through the history books, I've watched all the tape. There was never a point in which in one tournament, players were bowling up 5, game 1, and then lofting the left gutter, game 3. And everywhere in between. Like, that I think, and it's not because they couldn't have done it, they just didn't need to do it. I'm sure if the environment asked them to do it and the equipment allowed them to do it, they would have managed to do it. And I think Earl, and why he was just so good, was the game was simple and he was the best repeater in a simple game. He made less errors than everybody else. He made better shots than everybody else. And he won more than everybody else. But if he were bowling today, Earl would have to change his game. He could not just repeat in an area over and over and over. He's going to have to learn how to manipulate his hand, and he would be able to because he's brilliant. But would that style, if I just took Earl and then dropped him today and said, just don't change a thing, just do that, he would bowl well. He would be great. Would he be the most winning bowler of all time? Probably not. It's one of the reasons why I look at Walter as the greatest of all time. He never got the credit for being versatile. Everyone knew him as a really up the boards type of player, but I saw it. I saw him, lofting the left gutter, bowling slow, then speeding it up and changing his hand position. He bowled all across the lane. On television, he probably did play much straighter the majority of the times, and I think that's where that stereotype of Walter playing straight came from. But Walter is the greatest of all time because he's great at any part of the lane. Earl, today, he would just have to change just a little bit, in my opinion. Told you, I'm going to get in trouble for that. I can already feel the boomers going, you don't know what you're talking about, two-hander? Earl Anthony's the greatest that's ever lived. G'day, thanks for watching. If you loved this one, check out the rest of the videos from this playlist or any other playlist. Make sure that you like the video and please subscribe if you would love to be the first to catch any of the latest of the behind the scenes and a whole lot of other cool stuff.